You deserve the best. So join us at 2 Point Hospital. We're open for new staff, new patients, and a new you. Can I go play golf yet? I'm teeing off at 3.
So, 2 Point Hospital. It's free this weekend, but it's not something that I got for free. It's something that I pre-ordered and bought the day that and got it the day that it came out. Because back in the very late 90s, early noughties, I had a PC with a game called Theme Hospital on there. It's time to see some pro play. Oh boy, are you in for some disappointment. Back in the 90s, I think it came out in 99, there was a little game called Theme Hospital, and it was made by a studio called Bullfrog. And Bullfrog were an EA owned company, and they came out with many great titles like Dungeon Keeper, Theme Hospital, Populous. Absolutely love Populous. Populous is a game that I really do want to play again, and I actually seen it on Good Old Games because I was looking for Theme Hospital, because I was going to play Theme Hospital. But I thought I might as well get in with the 2 Point free weekend first of all, and I'll play Theme Hospital maybe Sunday evening instead of Banished. But Theme Hospital was a game that I played so much as a kid. I had it on the PC and we had it on the PlayStation, the original OG PlayStation. And I played so much of that game. And I completed it so many different times. But Theme Hospital was such a big game for me when I was a little child. And I absolutely loved that game. And unfortunately, they never made another one until 2 Point Hospital came out. It's from the same people who made the original Theme Hospital, and it's incredibly similar to what Theme Hospital was and everything that I loved about it. The humour, the style of it. I'm just so glad they actually did decide to make this. And I played it for about 40 hours until I got stuck on a certain 2 levels and couldn't progress anymore. And I gave up and I played Dota instead, which happens with a lot of my games that I'm going to be playing. It's going to be like, yeah, I played it, I kind of got stuck a bit, and instead of, finding a different way to unstick myself, I just went and played Dota instead. But we're going to start from the beginning, because this is about 6 levels, more like 8 levels through, where I didn't get all the stars and didn't go back, and yeah, it's just something I didn't really know what I was doing, and it's been a good 5 months. Well, it came out August, I think it did. So it's August since I last played it, so I'm not going to remember what to do for a lot of the time. So I'm going to be starting afresh. And as Mortal, thanks very much for joining. Hope you're okay. It's time to see some pro play. So I'm going to be starting afresh. It's advertising the game for the game that you've bought. Welcome to 2 Point County. I'm Albert Crank, and I'll be your trusty advisor on this journey. Hi Albert. This is Hogsport, and here's your first hospital. Click on it to get started. Hogsport. Begin your career as a hospital administrator. Learn the basics of a job by establishing your first hospital. As a world-renowned expert on this game who has played almost 2 entire minutes, I'll be judging your every move with utter scrutiny. With utmost scrutiny. Scrutiny? I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Scrutiny? Sorry. If you don't know how to play, these are all the directions. So you've got WASD to move around, panning to the edge of the screen to move around. And then WASD and... Woo! Okay, thank you. Build a reception desk. So, as with most other games, it's not about building an efficient hospital. that's probably where I've been going wrong. It's not about building an official hospital. It's about building a hospital which is pleasant on the eye and looks good. So you can rotate by pressing the Z and X keys, and you can place them. I like to place it right in front of the entrance and a good way back. Of course, you're going to have to hire an assistant, and I absolutely love the names that they've given them in this. Some rather quirky, some rather just quite outlandish names. The stars are how good they are at that role. So 1 star, they're not very good, and they will increase their experience as they are in the role, and every time they reach a new star level, whilst they're on the job, you can train them and give them a different stat here. So this person has 0 stats, this person has 2. They have 1 which increases their happiness, and they have another one which increases their motivation. Perhaps a viable strategy is only having administrators to acquire and verify credit card numbers and chances to clear up the mess after the patients inevitably die. Then you'll have a clean, efficient, profitable hospitals. Yes, but the reputation will tank. You also have no displeasured customers, which is completely true. You can't tell the tales if you're dead, that's correct. And then as I was saying, with these stats, you can train them and you can give them the stats that you'd like. For assistants, you want them to be happiness, to improve the customers as they're coming through the door. You don't really want speed, as they're just going to be sat still most of the time. Well, in fact, that's not true. Efficiency is good as well because it means they process quicker. But this guy is the best that we can do right now, so Arnold Borge, you're hired, mate. And now we need to build a general practitioner's office. And this is where the real gameplay begins. GP's office, these need to be at a minimum 3x3, but nobody wants to be in a little cramped room, does he? They want freedom and the kind of... Oh, just not the mic.
You are listening to Harrison Wolf.
Sorry, I love the radio in this. It's absolutely amazing.
On 2 Point Radio.
They want freedom and room to breathe and
reason, ready to
spin around doing doctory
all
things.
Our vigilant listeners. So
but you do want some kind of gap so patients can get through.
Get ready to find out what's really going on. But first, here are some people playing musical instruments.
Always do the maximum number of windows. It's just something I always do. You need to make sure that they realise the horrors that are going on inside of the room, so patients can look in and be like, oh god, what have I got myself into? It's more of a kind of little experience to the pain and suffering that they are eventually going to be in by being in this hospital. Have a plant to make the room look pretty, of course. A bin, so there isn't much rubbish around, and a fire extinguisher, so everything doesn't go up in a massive fireball. Of course, there are different and flavoursome items that you can buy. But of course, you do need an in-game currency called K, and you get that by completing different challenges. So of course we don't have any now because we've not done any challenges, and that's all we can really buy for the time being. That room will need to be filled by a doctor as well. Managing expectations is something I find very important when dealing with hospital patients and significant others. Exactly, you don't want to build up something too much because in the end you'll just be disappointed. It's why I've named myself JamieTheAverage, so people don't get disappointed when they realise how average I am. So with doctors, especially one that's going to be a general practitioner, they are not going to be treating people. They might be eventually. But for right now, you won't be doing any treatment in a general practitioner. you will just be diagnosing. So if I want this doctor to become a GP, well, a very good GP, these skills, well, these two skills, the treatment skills, are quite useless on him. The motivation is quite good to process people through, because the GP's office is by far the most used building in the hospital. You'll have by the late end of the game, in the most difficult levels, like 15 maybe GPs around the hospital. Sorry.
Please be aware, not being aware costs lives.
Yes, please be aware, not being aware does cost lives, and of course, she's correct in everything she does say. Some of the flavour lines, I guess is the way to put it. Well, the hospital's open. Some of the flavour lines from the original game, I'd love them to be in here. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Rotating and zooming and oof. That's an action zoom right there. Sorry if that made you feel sick. And of course, we'll need some kind of items to fill the hospital and make the patients feel comfortable.
I've started exploring past lives. I've tried hypnotizing myself with pendulums and pocket watches, but I find listening to my own voice works best.
Oh, I didn't realise you could
I
pitch
say
it.
one thing,
In fact, yeah, I
and
did.
then another thing. And I say one thing, and then another thing. It's possible you're now hypnotized too.
I'm hypnotised too. I mean, what? Of course, the people will need somewhere to sit. That's why I got a bench, because they'll just stand outside the door and make the hospital look generally and clean. The patients will get bored quite easily, so we'll need to build some kind of entertainment for them, and a leaflet stand is a cheap first item you really do get as an opportunity to fill that need. We've diagnosed our first patient. Woo! We've not killed him yet. So this leaflet stand will help him not just die of boredom, really. Ooh. A pharmacy required. We'll get the patient to wait, because I think we can build a pharmacy. So the pharmacy on that side. A 3x4 building on... Sorry, a 3x4 room on that side. A 3x4 room on this side. Have it quite close to the door, so there isn't much of a walk for the patients and nurse to get in there, because if it's on the other side of the room, it's just so much to travel. A filing cabinet so you can fire away all the disasters and dead patients that we do have. A bin to clean up all the mess. A fire extinguisher to clean up all the patients which do spontaneously combust. I mean, they don't, I promise. Ooh. And now, that little symbol overhead means that we will need a nurse, as very kindly said by you, Arthur.
Pharmacy, calling nurse.
Hiya, there you go. And nurses. Now, this is where the treatment comes in. So, pharmacies will be treating patients. So this nurse right here, Brian Badger, is perfect for the pharmacy. They've got 2 lots of treatment skills, which means they do it 20% better, and they've even got pharmacy management, which is another 20%. So he is perfect for the pharmacy. So he will process people very quickly that come into the pharmacy, and he will have a very good success rate in trying to cure people, because there is a failure rate even with diseases that you do know quite well. By the way, Mortal, how is the sound balance with each other? Is my voice being overpowered by the game? Is the sound okay? Yay, we've not killed someone. Woo!
Staff announcement. We've just cured our very first patient.
Woo! Yay. The sound balance is pretty good. The music's a bit too loud. Okay, thank you. I was thinking that. So... we'll just kind of turn it all down just a tiny little bit. Thank you very much. Seems good. Okay. So on this side, oh, janitors and maintenance. Now that we've got some expensive machinery, we should think about looking after it. Machines will deteriorate with use and will need repairing from time to time. If a machine falls into disrepair, it can be a fire hazard. Fires are generally considered bad for business. Hire a janitor to maintain machines. While you're at it, make sure you've got some fire extinguishers nearby. Better safe than sorry, right? Of course, that's why we have a fire extinguisher in the GP's office, just in case he turns into a pyromaniac. But as I was saying before, it's all about keeping the patients happy whilst they're in the hospital. So we've got some entertainment with the leaflet stand, and whilst they're here, they might get a little bit thirsty and require a little drink.
The healthcare branch of the
With
holistics
burp.
company, known to some as hemp, is in trouble again. Apparently, Elixir, their latest product which claims to cure all ills, is in fact nothing but pine-scented prune juice. Well, I guess it should cure one ill at least.
So by the fact that there are two quite good janitors right here, one with 1 qualification and the other with 2, this means he'll work quicker with the motivation, he'll get around the hospital quicker, but this means he'll work longer without needing a break. I do think I will wait until what the next applicant will say, because maybe it'll be someone better. I am going to need a mechanic with... Sorry, I'm going to need a janitor with the mechanic trait. So it is quite good that he does have it right now, because eventually I will need to upgrade machines. But I was hoping for someone with ghost capture, because I am expecting to kill someone. So the other thing with employees as well is the reference. So these have little stats, and when you do get in later into the game, when you do train the staff members to give them extra little bonuses, these qualifications, you will be hiring staff just solely on these employment references, and they seem to be random. I don't notice a pattern from like profession to profession. So something like this does get important at the end of the game.
Your comfort is important to us. Please try to be comfortable.
Be comfortable. I'm not seeing enough comfort. So with this person, when they're hungry, they get nasty. When they're hungrier, they become nastier and they lower happiness by 10%. But they do entertain people with their sweet dance moves, and they are inspiring. So the positives outweigh the negatives for me. The pharmacy is very busy because people just come into the diagnosis room and immediately get put across because there's no other treatment rooms as of yet. It is important to keep your staff and patients happy to ensure the hospital runs smoothly. Patients will get bored, thirsty and hungry over time. Make sure they have access to entertainment, food, drinks and a comfy seat when they're between appointments. If they become unhappy, they'll leave to go to another hospital. And it's kind of what I was referring to before, in the fact that I've done most of those. Oh, dramatic zoom. So the last thing I need to do is a snack machine. Of course, some cheesy gubbins. Oh, sorry, yeah, I read your thing about a nurse. When you hired a nurse, the one you hired was more efficient but cost twice as much. What are the pros and cons of hiring a good one versus 2 poor ones? Yeah, I'll move that. Oh, staff breaks. I will need to build a staff room. So in regards to nurses and how much they cost to refer to how good they are, the cost is solely based on their stats and their level. So the more expensive ones will have... Yes, of course. Thanks. So the better the nurse, the more expensive they're going to be. So in regards to this, the fact that right now, you don't get training in this level, because it's the first level. Buying a very good nurse,
impressed by how experimental the acts were,
with the extra bit of cash, is going to be more beneficial, since they had better stats for the pharmacy compared to someone else. I just need this person to be able to treat people very quickly. And that's what that person did. There will be a lot more decisions later in the game when you do get training, and it does transpire the fact that you will start a hospital, and I think it's level 4. When you originally hired nurse at 1 star, no skills, but only cost like 11k. Oh, sorry, dramatic zoom. I'll turn on to stop doing that. Okay. So try and find someone who's got a good kind of like different range. Okay. So some of them, there's this modifier, and I was hoping I'd see this. They want more money, so they're going to cost more money, and because they want more money, there's that modifier. So that means their salary is going to be more, and that's solely one of these random modifiers. But the amount that they cost is also based on these employee references as well, because the worse they are, there's going to be some negative buffs that they have, and the more expensive they are, they're going to have some expensive buffs. But it's quite a small amount that does change. I don't know the exact science behind it. I've not checked, to be honest. But this person has quite okay stats. They're 2 stars, which means they can have another they're ready for training, and they have a decent qualification already in the fact that they have a GP skill. So he is a very good doctor, especially by the fact that he's a quick learner. So it means he'll train 50% quicker. Sorry, yeah, there are negative buffs. So this person is lazy. They'll go on break more often, which is quite bad, because you want your doctors to be in the room treating patients as much as possible. And this one has a short temper, so they're nasty, so they will make the patients unhappy. As an American, treating people terribly at the lowest cost is in my blood. As an English person, charging people for treatment in a hospital is completely immoral and against my better nature. But needs need to be done, I guess. Gameplay will be gameplay. So this doctor right here is absolutely amazing for 2 reasons. First of all, that tash. My god, that's a great tash. Look at that majestic mustache. Wow. Second of all, he appreciates wallpaper, and I like a man who appreciates wallpaper. We don't need you right now, but I don't want to risk losing you. And plus, you will need to go on a break very soon. Not really. I do need to build a staff room. Staff rooms can be quite sizable, but you don't want them to be too large since there's not going to be many members of staff in this hospital. This is all the size of the hospital you're going to get for this level.
Watches are a thing of the past. Now is the time for rocket watches.
Rocket watches.
Rocket watches fly around your head so you can always tell the time. Buy a Bungle rocket watch today and watch time fly. More 2 Point, more often. This is 2 Point Radio.
2 Point Radio. Ooh, yeah. So the staff room, you need to have some kind of seating because the doctors will come in to relax.
To overcome their deficiencies.
Yes, please overcome your deficiencies. That'd be great. Staff members will come in and need a seat, so a good amount of seating will be required. A bin, so they can throw their waste away, and the notes they make of silly patients that they make. Ooh, checkered sofa. Oh, I've not seen these before. Checkered sofas. Ooh. Ooh, we've cured 10 patients. And then they call them victims. I was like, we've cured 10 victims. Right now, I don't want to. You can put drinks machines and snack machines in the staff room, so they're yeah, employee only, but for right now,
Nurse, please go to the pharmacy.
I don't think that's strictly necessary. And let's have another sofa on the other side to make it look nice and symmetrical. Have a window in there just to realise that they're not prisoners in this room and there's actually a hospital on the outside. But people don't want to look in it, the staff, whilst they're having knife fights and playing strip poker, of course. Of course not. What goes in the staff room stays in the staff room. Staff will head to a staff room. Oh, they don't play strip poker and knife fights, by the way. I just wanted to clarify that. Staff will head to a staff room when they're on a break. Fill the room with interesting items to help them become fully refreshed before their break ends. You can place a member in the staff to make them take a break. So now this doctor that I hired over here is filling in for the doctor that was on a break. He went to take a break and the other doctor filled in. Drinks and snacks are great for keeping people happy, but they can lead to littering if there's no bins nearby. Once we're at it, staff and patients will get pretty grumpy if they don't have access to any toilets. You might want to invest in some quality porcelain. Janitors will help maintain all of these, restocking vending machines, sweeping up litter, emptying bins and unblocking toilets. All of the important things. We've unlocked toilets. People have been in this hospital for nearly a year and there's not been a single toilet. Of course, toilets can be very small, they can be 2x2. And if you do actually misplace a room like that, you can use one of these buttons up here. So this one, subtract from a room, you can remove squares from it. Or if you want to add to the room, you can add to the room. So all rooms need to be a basic shape. So this one requires a minimum of 3x2. So we need to have the room 3 squares by 2 squares at a minimum. And then you can make any expansion you want to the side of the room. You can make it a terrible looking... Oh dear, that was like something completely different. You can make a terrible looking building like that, and that's completely fine because at least...
At all times. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. At least it's 3x2 there, you can make it whatever shape you want. But I don't want to do that, this looks so terribly poor. So the toilets don't need to be too sizable in nature, but I like a good 3 width toilet. It means there's enough space in there for one whole bank of toilets. A door would be handy. I'm trying to remember how I do this. Does the side of a toilet block a door? Yes, it does. So I'll have to do it on an angle like
I
that.
need to relax more. Find a hobby. If you have any suggestions, please send them in. I'll keep you posted on how my search goes. Anything's better than my last hobby. Collecting traffic cones.
Oh, poor mum was collecting traffic cones. So my toilets, yes. So the toilets that I like to do is
We're
4,
sorry
3,
for the
2.
litter that you dropped on our floor.
Yes. Of course, the toilets, I don't like to put anything else in there. The only other thing is a bin, but I think there you go. I did leave room. So of course, with this room, there's a little prestige bar. So the more you're able to fit into a room, the prettier it will be, and the more prestigious a room will be. So the more prestigious a room, the happier people will be in that room. So if a room is very small and it has a low level of prestige, people will be unhappy being in that room. Whereas if you have a large room and there's lots of different things in there, by things I mean items, sorry. There's lots of different items in there, then it will make the people in that room happier. So those are level 3 toilets, so people in there will have their happiness at a level 3. I don't know the quantity of numbers behind it, I just know there's a certain amount of prestige that people will be happy being in toilets. I like how constructing the bathroom is what prompted you to think about prestige. I mean, if you can't have prestigious toilets, then I don't know what else you can have really. I realised my mistake when building the staff room. since this was a level 2 and it was oh so close to being a level 3, except I realised that after I pressed complete. Ooh, further diagnosis. We're hearing reports of new illnesses in town. These might be harder to diagnose. We may need to build a new diagnosis room. If a GP isn't certain, they will send a patient for further diagnosis. Okay, thank you. So of course, you can always edit a room, or edit the room objects, but we're going to be placing something in there, so we don't need to do too much to it. Hospital level. As you expand the hospital with more rooms and staff, the hospital level increases, and larger hospitals attract more patients. As the hospital gets busier, queues may start to get long. We may need to build more GP offices in other rooms, and hire more staff to deal with extra patients. So down here in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see hospital level, and as it said in the little blurb there, yes, please no digging in the hospital grounds. The larger the hospital, the higher the amount of people that will come in. So reputation affects that as well. So
The
reputation.
45th caller today will win tickets to the rock festival taking place next month. I admire our station manager's optimism. The most callers we've ever had in a day was 6.
6?
2 of them were wrong numbers.
Oh. Poor radio man. I do appreciate his optimism though. But as I was saying, the reputation goes up when you cure people, and it goes down when you kill people. It also goes down on people's experiences inside the hospital as well, so if they have to wait for a long time, and if there's a lot of rubbish and sick on the floor, then people's reputation leaving the hospital will go down. So there's a diagnosis decision. One of our patients, Lionel Horn, has been sent to all of our diagnostics room, and we're only 63% sure of the diagnosis. If you send the patient for treatment, there's a large chance that they will die. A 37% chance they'll die, and I don't like those odds. I'm not a betting man, but a 1 in 3 chance of dying, well, above a 1 in 3 chance of dying, doesn't sound that good for me. I wouldn't like it if it's a 1 in 3 chance, especially when we do have the option to build more diagnosis rooms. So we'll get the patients to wait for the time being. A staff promotion. What I like to do in regards to giving staff a pay rise is give them the bare minimum until it goes the extra little happy face. So it's one into the tick, so neutral and then very unhappy, because like, you're not giving me any pay rise whatsoever. That's what they're expecting, and then this is a tiny little bit happier. Of course you can get them just super happy with the full dark green face, but I don't think that's strictly necessary. As long as they're slightly happier with what they're promoted to, then I'm more than happier to give them just the bare minimum where they're happy. Item control and hospital reputation, kind of what I was explaining a little bit before. So hospital reputation increases with each patient successfully cured, but decreases when a treatment fails and the patient dies. Oh yeah, you can have the treatment fail and the patient survive but just not be cured. A higher reputation attracts more patients and better staff.
Maintenance announcement. Automated snack machines need restocking manually.
So, ooh, look at that. So this person has customer service 4. So he is an extra 200% buff to his customer service skills. So when you walk through that door and you go and speak with him, she will smooze you, and you'll just forget where you are and be like, where's my wallet? Oh, here's my wallet. There you go. There's all of my possessions I own. Because she will be able to talk anything out of you with that 200% extra customer service skill. Wow. Of course, very expensive for an assistant, but thoroughly worth it. But unfortunately, we do have an assistant, and they're just taking a little break. Oops, that's the janitor. In fact, where's the assistant? Oh, he's gone to the toilet. Never mind. Staff members will need to use the toilet as well. We tried to stop them, but they struck, and we had to eventually give them and let them have very short toilet breaks every 24 hours. But that right there is a super assistant. That's the assistant that we all dream for. Okay, so we have extra. Ooh, the hospital reputation's got up, so instead of being fine, it's now good. So the next diagnosis building that we do have is now the general diagnosis room. Newsflash! There's a particularly new illness in town, lightheadedness. We're going to need some expensive new equipment to deal with this.
We're close to award season.
Ooh, awards. Oh, wait a minute. What? Sure, I want to see the awards. Woo! 4 awards. No deaths. That's the most surprising one. Okay, so this is the person that we said we needed to wait around in the hospital, and he's waiting for further diagnosis rooms. The little timer over his head, which says 182, is how many seconds that he's going to be waiting in the hospital for until he decides to quit and has had enough and it's like, I'm leaving. So I built it 1 too far across. Let's have the door there. Windows all the way around, just to increase the prestige. That's always helpful. An easy scan in the corner, and the treatment table right there. So the people in the GP's office can look in and have a laugh at them whilst on the treatment table. Filing cabinet so the doctor can file away all of his sweeties and then put the wrappers in the bin afterwards. Fire extinguisher when they accidentally set fire to patients, and a plant to make it look nice whilst they do all of that probing and scanning that they do in general diagnostics. That will now require a nurse to be hired there, so we'll have a look at nurses. So general diagnosis, as in the name, is a diagnosis building, so this person here with treatment skill is not going to be very handy for what we will need right now. Very good in the pharmacy, not so great in the general diagnosis room. Again, a very good basic nurse for pharmacy, but this person right here with a diagnostic skill is perfect for what we need in a general diagnosis. They're a fast learner, so once training does become unlocked, they will learn quicker, but they're hangry, so hopefully they don't become hungry. And they only own 1 pair of shoes. And that's the 1 pair they own as well. I'm disappointed. I'll unpause it just to keep things running. So of course outside every room I like to build at least 1 bench and very close to the door. Oh, a plant to make things look a little bit nicer over here. And a bin to stop people dropping litter. So if you hover over a room or in this regards the assistant's desk, numbers will pop up over the heads of the people waiting for that room, and that's to know how many people are actually in that queue. So this pharmacy right here has 5 people queuing. It is a rather busy room.
Announcement. Plants need water.
Plants do need water. That is 100% correct. Ooh, steam mods. So we will get another diagnosis room, and the next one is a ward. I love the lots of flavour text. Cures and diagnoses a range of illnesses, like a B&B, but without the breakfast. So just a B. Okay. So a door. And then rotate this round so it's in the corner. With a little bedpan there. The screen in the corner. And then, like every good ward should be, you just try and cram as many beds in there as possible. Because it's not about comfort when you're very poorly in a ward, it's just about how many of them you can stuff into a room. Filing cabinet. Let's put a bin so you can throw away all of the disgusting waste that people do own. People do crate, whilst they're in a ward, and a plant so you can sit and look at a plant whilst you're in bed all day. Of course, there are future things that give little buffs to room.
Litterers will take the place of their rubbish in the bin.
Yes, that's right. If you litter, then you will be in the bin. There are little buffs you can have in the rooms with the items that you buy. So, for example, this wall monitor here increases the room prestige. It gives a 1% buff to treatment power, and it gives a 1% buff to diagnosis power. So that means placing that in a room will increase the room's diagnostic and treatment power by 1%, so it'll increase the chances of them being cured, and it'll increase the chances of them being diagnosed correctly. But right now, that's a perfectly good ward, going to be way bigger than what we'd need for this hospital, but a good ward nevertheless. Maybe in the future one tile slightly bigger so we can fit some more stuff in there, but that's a perfectly good ward. Wards. Wards can be used for diagnosis and also treat a range of illnesses. A nurse is required to admit each patient, look after them and discharge them when they're ready to leave. You can add multiple nurses as well.
Whenever you clip your nails in front of a computer, one of the nails always flies into the cracks of your keyboard. Does the keyboard feed on them? I don't know. No one knows.
And that's why I bought a mechanical keyboard, so there are no gaps in between the keyboard, so my keyboard has no way of eating fingernail clippings. But it is disgusting to think about nevertheless. Star rating. The 2-Point Health Ministry is keen to recognise the achievements of every hospital in the county. If we can build a hospital that satisfies the needs of the local area, the hospital will be awarded an official star rating. This will be great for our organisation. Not only does each star come with the associated rewards, but it will also allow us to establish new hospitals around the county. Continue to expand the hospital, acquire a 1-star rating. And we need to cure 3 patients with lightheadedness. And lightheadedness by name, lightheadedness by nature. They've got a light for a head. It brings me back to some of the diseases that you did get in the original theme hospital. In that one, you got bloaty head, where your head was bloated. It was like a giant balloon.
Nurse wanted on the ward.
And the treatment was to pop the head with a giant needle. And then inflate the empty skin head back up again. So in regards to wards, there are certain buffs or certain qualifications that people working in wards will want. So this person has ward management 1 and ward management 2. So they will treat, they will diagnose, and they will work better in wards in general rather than just treatment. So that's all treatment buildings, whereas this ward management is in wards in general. So this person right here, Colin Gump, they're a class clown, so they'll entertain people as well. He is perfect for working in a ward. If you click on the ward, you can increase the amount of staff that work in a room. So if you wanted a big ward with a lot more beds in than this, and 6 is actually an okay for having 2 different nurses, because 6 people will need to be processed. But 1 should be okay for the time limit. There's just a little bit of a backlog due to the fact that I've just built it. 2 people will administer in and out patients. whilst they're in bed. So of course, this person here is incapable of getting into bed without doctor's assistance. So right now...
Lost and found report. Ham sandwich, partially eaten.
That's my ham sandwich. New illness. Bedface discovered. Our doctors have discovered a new illness of bedface. Quite alarming contortion of the face, caused by sleeping at a strange angle. Doctors recommend always using a bed protractor to monitor your sleeping angles. Always use a bed protractor. We'll send the patient for treatment in our ward. This person needs to be a little bit happier. There you go. Ooh, 30,000. You better be a good senior nurse, Brian. I think you are. Okay. Forward. Kudosh. This is the in-game currency that I was mentioning. That's represented by the K. Kudosh. By completing objectives and challenges, you can earn Kudosh. And then you can use Kudosh to buy items around the hospital that increase happiness, increase the prettiness of the hospital, and give little buffs to rooms. Lightheadedness. Patients are notable due to their bulbous heads, and bulbous by literal light bulb. We need to send them to a deluxe clinic and £21,000 to build. We will definitely build one, but first of all, I'm pretty sure I said it was dollars. Dollars will have to do, but I will say pounds. A deluxe clinic cures patients with lightheadedness, unscrewing head since 2017. So the lightheadedness clinic will be 3x3, but I will place it down here in the corner, and it'll be 4x3, and I'll start the expansion across this wall, the back wall of the hospital. So I'll put the door about there. The deluxe clinic, the deluxe Olux luxury right in the middle, and the control panel right in the middle as well, because you want the doctor to notice how pained and agonising your face is whilst you're having your head removed. Window so people can look in it and gaze at the excitement and laugh at the entertaining spectacle of having a head removed. We will need a doctor. A doctor is already assigned because we had a doctor spare over that was just sitting around in the staff room. So I will need to build a second GP office to finish the objective.
If you're looking for a product with which to clean your hair, we at Justa would like to ask that you consider our shampoo.
Yeah, all right.
Justa shampoo. It'll clean your hair, but it won't change your life.
I've not heard that one before.
Is 2.0.
Yeah, I bet. Ooh, new game. Hi, Nephilia. How are you?
No money, no treatment.
I am amazing. I'm great. I'm having a whale of a time. Everything is amazing. And I'm having a lot of fun watching my first patient die. Oh god, they've turned into a ghost. Alright, red alert, we're ghost alert. We'll do that later. Ghost alert, we need an assistant with ghost capture. There's no janitor with ghost capture.
May well be haunted.
There's no janitors with ghost capture. Oh, the ghost has gone away. No, it's come back. Aha! Alright, if we don't look at it, it's not there. It's not there if we don't look at it. It's just a figment of our imagination. We need a doctor for the GP's office.
Nurse
So we-
needed in general diagnosis.
Yes, please go general diagnosis. We need someone with diagnostic skill, and he's cheap. He's okay. Sorry, she is. Jennifer Backthumper. She's a class clown, so she'll entertain people as well. You go, Jennifer. Oh god, the ghost. That's good to hear. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're good as well. A janitor with ghost capture qualifications. They seem overqualified for their job. It's just standard part of the course. Didn't your janitor whilst you were in high school have ghost capture? Of course, there are people who have lightheadedness. Because, you know, lightheadedness. If he did a very excellent job of hiding it. Didn't you hear him going around humming the Ghostbusters theme? Okay. I will need another doctor. Oh no, I already had one. Jennifer, never mind. So a nurse. How many nurses do I have currently? I've got 3 nurses, and I have 3 rooms which require a nurse. So everything is fine in that front. It's just one of them's in the staff room relaxing. Oh dear, you seem to have failed to realise there's a toilet right there, and that's rather disgusting. What you? Oh my god!
You're listening
You
to Nigel's Bickleworth.
You smelled your farts in public, you
on
disgusting
2
man.
Point Radio.
No, I'm pretty
Welcome
sure
back
that
to
was not
your
the janitor.
favourite radio station with the vastly overqualified Sir Nigel Bickleworth. I'm here to inform, to entertain, and to bring some small measure of sophistication to your drab little lives. Should any of you have any requests for popular tunes, as I believe people like to call them, do not hesitate to repress that impulse. I have no intention of playing any of that drivel.
How dare you come to me with your popular music? When I grow older, I'm 25, so when I get older, I want to sound like Sir Nigel Bigglesworth. Oh, I built a second GP's office. Never mind. I forgot what I've been doing. Where's the ghost? Did the ghost go?
Do not grow attached to patients.
Yes, please don't grow attached to patients. Don't give them names, just refer to them by serial numbers. We might have too many doctors. Some are currently idle. Well, yes, due to the fact we built a third GP's office and we didn't really need it. In fact, 1, 2, yes, it's because these rooms are not in use. No, I'm pretty sure that was me, not the janitor. Oh, but apparently we have a ghost at the restaurant I work at. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Please do tell me more about this ghost. Like, what has it done? Is it like a poltergeist? Do you come into the restaurant like first thing and you've seen like chairs been moved about and... Ooh. Items, that's what I was going to buy. We need a desk for here. Sorry, a desk? A bench, I mean. We need a bench for these rooms, so the patients don't get tired stood on their feet. We'll have a drinks machine of Burp, your favourite soda brand. And a snack machine of cheesy gubbins.
Prices are non-negotiable.
Prices are definitely not negotiable. These are the prices, and if you complain about them, they are going to be increased by 10%. Just company policy. I'm sure you'll understand. And let's have the toilets looking very pretty, because of course, having plants when you go into a toilet is all that you want, really. And a bin. Ooh, the hospital levels has increased. Our cleaners do not have the Ghostbuster skills. They're terrified of going in. For real, dude, the audacity. Hey, Samies, what, you want to sound like Sir Nigel Bigglesworth as well? I mean, he does have a great voice. I love Sir Nigel Bigglesworth. Why am I pondering over the spelling of a word that isn't even in the dictionary? That is a very good question. Oh, thank you, Arthur. Arthur? I want to say Arthur. I had to...
Maintenance announcement. Bins will become full.
Bins do become full. That is very observant of you. Thank you. A plant to make it look nice. A fire extinguisher so the doctors, when they smoke inside the building... Ooh! That's private. Dear Hospital Administrator, you've now got a 1-star hospital. Congratulations, your hospital has been awarded a 1-star rating. That's out of a possible 3 by the 2 Point Health Ministry. I've retrieved your file from my bin to celebrate. You've chucked my file? How... Continue to develop your enterprise in Hogsport for further esteem and trinkets. If you believe that you are capable of more, alternatively, run before you can walk and begin to expand your organisation by opening a new hospital in Lower Bullocks. Your choice, as you say, is yours. Yours fragrantly, Tarquin Foxbridge, Health Minister. Thank you, Tarquin. Ooh, I got 100 kudos. And I got my Lower Bullocks unlocked.